Hey, friends, welcome back. I have a confession to make. I didn't post an episode on July 4th, which was last week, and I didn't tell you, my listeners, about it. Okay, but here's the thing. We, as business owners who have a podcast, can miss a week of posting your podcast without the world coming to an end, right? What makes me unique is that I'm not only going to give you best practices, coaching and best practices of podcasting, I'm also about real life sustainability for you. I want you to succeed as a business owner with a podcast. And sometimes you need to take a break. I think back to the time when I was posting on my Friends of a Feather podcast. And I remember during December, I would take the whole month of December off. I wouldn't post anything. And then I would also take August off some years. So I would have December, I would have August, and it was just for me to not have to publish an episode. It doesn't mean that I was not recording behind the scenes, doing things like that, but I took the pressure off of myself to take a rest, to take a break from posting the podcast. And so I want to encourage you today to know when to take a break. Because if you push, and you focus on one thing over and over, it is without a break. It is going to be very difficult for you to not get burnout, or it's going to be very difficult for you to pump the brakes. And then it's going to be even worse. And so also I want to tell you this, that when you take a break aside from your work, you really can rest your mind, and that can really help you in the long run. It can spark your creativity. I don't know if you remember, I was on Shelley Tyson's podcast, Cultivate Legacy, and we talked about a lot of things. It's a great episode. I'll put that in the show notes. But in another post on social media, on Instagram, I posted, I think it was a picture of these water notes. They're not called water notes. That's silly, but they are notes. It's a notepad with a pencil that is suction cupped to the wall of my shower. And when I think of any kind of content idea or creative idea or real idea or podcast episode idea, I jot it down on there. Now, let's be honest. It's mainly for little notes between my husband and myself and my son. Since we're living with my parents, because we're building our house, we share one bathroom. So all three of us share a bathroom, and the notes are back and forth, which is precious. I can't tell you how many of those I've ripped off and I'm saving because, oh my word. But it's mainly for ideas. And I did have some ideas yesterday when I took a shower yesterday morning. So I remember Shelley commenting on this post about how there is some kind of statistics that say that your brain, when it goes into the shower, because I was like, why is it always the shower with me? Actually, I think it is on my podcast manager, Pat's Instagram. I'll link that in the show notes too. But she said there is a statistic where when we go into a shower or we go for a walk or we're having downtime where we're not focusing on our work, that is when the creativity comes, and that is when those ideas come about. Amazing. It was amazing. And so I love how that backed up what I teach, and what I am teaching you right now is when you take that break. When I didn't post on Monday, I prayed for creativity and I prayed for ideas, and the Lord gave me ideas. So last night, after I put my son to bed, I sat in my chair And I was like, I'm going to type this email, not email. I'm going to type this up really fast. It's my episode for next week. And the all of the creativity, everything just flowed. And I knew it was from the Lord. And so it just flowed. And I just kept typing, kept typing. I was like, oh my goodness, like I've got to cut it off. I'm typing so much. And then I got in bed and I was going to answer a message to someone. And this was later after I'd written the episode. And then I started thinking of another idea. It was really a reel idea, a video reel idea for Instagram. But then I kept typing. I was like, this is not just for Instagram. This is an episode. Yes, I can do a reel out of this, but this is a whole episode. And so I kept on typing, y'all, that creativity was just going crazy. And I really feel like a lot of that is due to my rest and for my break on Monday, even the weekend before. And so I want to encourage you when you are posting your podcast. And if there's a week that you miss, that's okay. That's okay. And also think of it as time, whether you prepare for the break or not. Obviously, I coach best practices is to alert your listeners the week before. Hey, I'm going to take a break next week, but I'll catch you in 2 weeks. Stay tuned on Instagram. I'll still be there, that kind of thing. But sometimes real life happens. Can I get an amen? And I want you to take that break and then come back, and you're going to come back with that creativity even stronger. And you're going to have a fresh viewpoint in every aspect of your business. Now, when I was doing this, I was thinking about giving space to my mind and how the creativity just came and taking breaks before you burn out. And I wrote down this quote, or I typed it on my phone, literally in the bed last night. And I want to read it because I really feel like it's a great lesson for all of us when we are podcasting for our businesses. Okay, here it goes. I said, doing too much of one single thing without any breaks is not what consistency in our business is about. Let me say it again. Doing too much of one single thing without any breaks is not what consistency is about. And so I want you to think about that. And I want you to take a break from your podcast, even if it's just one day, 1 week, one podcast episode on a holiday, and just take that break. And I want you to pray for creativity and pray for content ideas, and you will be amazed at what God will give you for the next steps that you have. So I want to give you permission that it's okay if you accidentally skipped a week or if you did it on purpose. It's okay. And you just come back and you rev up for the next week. And so I want to I want to encourage you, and I want to give you permission that there is a fine line between that of real life sustainability. I want you to sustain your podcast, but then I also want you to take the best practices that I teach you and then really do a little of both. So I have a streamlined calendar that I go through with you. If you haven't started your podcast and you've been wanting to start it, I have I think it's week 4 of my 6-week program, where I give you this calendar and we walk through it and I teach you what to do every day so that you don't get to a place of burnout where you don't have to just take a break because you're overwhelmed, and where if you miss a week, that you're not panicked about it because you have the streamlined calendar. And I teach you how to walk through posting your podcast every week with this streamlined calendar because it's so important to have it and do a little every day so that you aren't overwhelmed and you aren't, burn out or ready to throw in the towel. So I wanted to let you know that is a part of our coaching. And if you are interested in hearing more about my one-on-one coaching program, I would love for you to book a call with me. You can go to my show notes, or if you're in the Apple Podcast app or Stitcher app, you can go to the description and click and book a call. It's at renrobbins.com/book a call. And I would love to talk with you about your podcast idea. Okay, so here is the permission. I am giving it to you that it's okay to skip a week and to jump back in the next week with more creativity and with a little more pep in your step, and to keep going. So remember, I'm here to help because life's too short to just wing it. Have a great day, guys. Bye.